Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Lost Ark related video. Some might even say this is a Lost Ark video, not even just tangentially related, because it's Friday, which means it's Arkonomics, baby. And I'm doing this a little bit later than I normally do. Pretty early or late in the morning. Kinda is how it is sometimes, but Arkonomics must go on, and I want to record this now, because if I don't record this now, I'm not gonna have time to record it, because I'm gonna be busy today. What the hecky, man? Me being busy? Also, it's very weird seeing me be a Makoko. New player. Yeah, I'm a new player, alright. Hold on. What is my hours played in this game? Can't see the Steam UI. I will let you know, though. I've got about 9,600 hours playtime, but I am indeed a new player. I know it's just placeholder text, but it's funny, okay? We have fun here. Take a look at the blue crystals. What are we talking about? It's Arkonomics. We just take a look at the market trends over the last week, and we just kind of see what's been happening. That's what the series is. That's what the series has always been. There's no financial advice going on in here. I'm never going to be telling you to buy bitcoins. The closest thing I can do is say buy fish, and that was like 3 years ago. Anyways, looks like the Insta buy is going to be closer to 18k. I mean, one person is selling a little bit at 16.9, but realistically it's 18k, and then it's going to be like a 16k slow buy, or like 15.7 if we're being realistic. So a pretty big gap between the Insta and slow buy. Interesting. I wonder why. I mean, I don't know, man. Before I actually look at, like, the market stuff this week, I did see this post here, which I have pulled up. And I think this is relevant. This isn't, like, obviously market-related. Well, I mean, it is market-related, but it's not, like, directly market-focused. But this is a write-up that some guy made on the subreddit a couple days ago. And it's showing the updated tables for Curzon Front / Guardian raids. And this is the new stuff. So this is like the expected averages that you're going to get from doing Curzon Front and Guardian raids after the changes, because the changes changed the materials from being tradable to being bound, but giving more. And anyways, this is the table for old Guardian stuff. And this is the purification stuff that they removed, so that's why there's no, like, you know, fancy little try-table here, because the purification thing just doesn't exist anymore, and, I mean, it's a pretty big nerf in terms of silver and shards for having no purification, which I only played a little bit once they added purification, but I had no problems with it at all. I thought it was a pretty decent system for what it was worth. But you can see here, the things to kind of keep in mind. I mean, let's just look at, like, 1720. So you're looking at redstone's 723, bluestone's about 2100, we'll say. 1720 here, redstone's 360. Again, about 720, so it's about double. And then again, for bluestone's like 1032, 2086, so again, about double, which is interesting. And then these are the gem drops. They're the astro gem drops, excuse me. But I'll read the post more, but I wouldn't pay attention to the astro gem drops too much. It's too low of a sample size. And then the other thing to note is the Guardian raids specifically, because Guardian raids are now where you get the gem drops, since Curzon Front no longer drops them, or Chaos Dungeon no longer drop them. So the gem drop rate, the gem drops all come from Guardian raids now. And you can kind of see the 1720 Guardian drop 6.5, which is, like, dead on what the old Curzon Front tier used to drop. It's, like, literally identical. It's interesting, because, I mean, I think he words it probably a little bit better. I didn't read the full post, but here, let's go over the post now, because he did do a write-up, and I read a little bit, but I think he probably explains it better than I could, especially with my little mushy brain. But basically, he has a TLDR here: tiny rosters just add rested guardians, big rosters get fucked. Lamau. Drop rate for epic astro gems is too small to get a sufficient sample size. I wouldn't take it seriously. Silver and shards, it was expected nerf because of purification was removed. Only way to earn more shards than before across the board is if you now run everything fully unrested. Anything less is a pure nerf. So, there you go. There's no way to earn more silver than pre-change by maintaining the same effort. If you want more silver, you must unrest Curzon fronts. Then you get a 10% increase, and you can choose to add rested guardians that you weren't doing before for up to 28%. If you're really desperate, you can run unrested guardians for at most a 37% increase in silver compared to just doing rested KF before. So, a lot more effort, a lot more gameplay, but you can still increase the stuff if you do everything every day, always. The main thing is honing materials and gems, but gems we'll get to. Honing materials first. Leap stones, destruction stones, and guardian stones drop are roughly doubled from the Curzon front, but if you were doing unrested Curzon plus guardians before, or rested guardians before, and you continued to do the same, the increase is somewhere between 10 to 20% for leap stones and 20 to 40% for destruction guardian, albeit all bound to character now. Field boss mats are fairly generous, but true to their word, they didn't touch any of the other drops. If you don't like doing guardians, this is probably your largest chunk of gem generation now. Better hit the double dips while you can. Assuming 1 1720 with the rest 1700 and double dipping field boss, if you were doing unrested Curzon front and rested guardians, this is a buffed tradable destruction guardian stones only if your roster is smaller than 3 characters. And it's a buff to tradable leap stones if your roster is smaller than 6. If you're doing rested Curzon front and guardians, it is a buff to tradable destruction / guardian stones only if your roster is smaller than 4. Without double dip, assuming KF and rested guardians, FB generates more tradable destruction / guardian stones with single character rosters and more tradable leap stones with rosters smaller than 4. So this is interesting because the field boss, the amount of materials the field boss ends up giving is actually quite good, which is surprising. And I also think this is like a big factor in why the prices for things hasn't really changed despite like a whole new class coming out. Which again is why I always say, like, nobody knows what's gonna happen, man. Like, I don't know, nobody knows. You can have your best guess, and that's all we can really do here. Gems, pure nerf. With the shift to guardians, the variance was decreased since the ranged gems drop-in is now much smaller, but Argos, we're gonna call them Argos, man. Gems were dropped to 2.6, down from 3 average before. 1660 used to generate the same gems as 1680, but since there's no 1660 Guardian, they're forced to drop to Argos and generate 37% fewer gems. Slight buff to 1680, since Skolakia now drops 8% more gems than the Curzon front used to. Drextilus and Krathios have the same average drop as the old Curzon front. However, dropping Curzon front is not really an option since factoring in cube tickets roughly doubles the amount of gems generated. So the gem split between Curzon front and Guardian raids is roughly even, skewing higher towards KF the higher you go. You can't maintain the same gem generation you were before without at minimum doubling the time you spend doing dailies, which many people will not be willing to do. Especially 1660 characters, no matter what you do, this change has gutted your gem generation. So this is something that I kind of expected. Just call it like a pure vibes-based thing, because when I heard that they were moving the gem drop rate to Guardian raids, I kind of figured it wouldn't be comparable and they wouldn't do enough. And it's really not comparable unless you do a bunch of extra work, but it is what it is. I'll just go with the other note here. In general, a targeted nerf at large accounts / multi-accounts and a buff to tiny rosters. If you're a small roster player, you probably won't find any trouble adding in rested guardians while continuing to do rested Curzon front, but larger rosters will feel the pain of losing all the old low-paying chaos farmers generating unbound mats. Silver is down across the board. Might actually be a struggle for now, with small rosters, with purification moved. Cobbled together a small sample sheet here. Quick change based on what you were running before and after the change. Top section is for what's the difference in material gain. Ran before the change, what you plan on running after. I'll take a look at this because I did check out the sheet a little bit beforehand, and it's a very good sheet. So if you aren't familiar with this and you think you get some use out of this, I will put a link to this in the description if I remember. I should remember, because I'm going to do this hopefully right now, and I'm going to get edited and uploaded before I go to bed. So I should have this in the description, but this is a very nice sheet, and I think it's relevant. I think this whole post is relevant, and I think the majority of the video is just going to be this post, because I think this post is very good content, and I love it when community does cool community shit, man. But this is peak cinema, as the kids say, or whatever. Look. I'm just going to take a quick look at the prices on the market, and then we're going to end the video, because I literally, I said everything I needed to say, basically. I mean, he said it for me. I basically just retweeted that shit, RT. I mean, prices are kind of what you would expect, unchanged. The redstones seem to fluctuate between 150 and like 190, depending on the time of the week, which again makes sense. Blue stones are like basically unchanged. Leap stones go up and down depending on certain fluctuations, like Radiant Leaps right now. Radiant Honor Leaps are fucking going crazy again. It just depends. It's always going to be funny to me how expensive Radiant Honor Leaps are compared to Destiny Leap stones always, but I'm a simple man. I find many things funny. Honor Shards, though, only 1k each right now. Holy. On a fucking fire sale. Take a look at engravings real quick. Grudge is at 311. Fucking call 911 for him, you know what I'm saying? Someday it'll be below 200k, you know? We're gonna skip 300k. We're gonna go straight to 200k. Sidereal Energy, 3 mil. Fair enough, man. And then let's take a look at the gem prices. I do kind of wonder if the gem prices are gonna eventually go up over time. Like, I mean, it makes sense for them to go up over time, even without this change, but I mean, like, more sort of front-loaded change, like, faster change. But no, it seems like gems are still about the same price as they were last week. They're about 3 mil. They're still about 3 mil. Recent prices, yeah, it's about 3 mil. So, nothing crazy there. I don't know, man. I find stuff like this interesting, and I was kind of expecting more to happen with the changes, but I'm not surprised, given how everything ended up shaking out. But let me know what you guys think, as always. If you have any thoughts, like the video if you like it, subscribe. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you to my YouTube members. It's Mr. Diz, Remix My Life. Love all you guys very, very much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!